Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Art of Intuition. I'm Stephanie Bucklin.
I'm Haley Baker.
Hi, Haley. It's good to see
Hi,
you again.
Stephanie. Good to see you. Happy, you know, week 2 of January. Yep,
Yeah,
week
we're
2.
heading right into 2025 already.
I know. Next thing you know, it'll be July and we won't know what's going on.
I know, right? Oh my God, it's been a week. I cannot believe all of the things that are happening in the world, all the chaos that's happening in all these different places.
Yeah.
My homeland is on fire right now. Oh man. I grew up in LA. So
Hmm.
to watch Sunset Boulevard burned, what the heck?
Yeah.
So, whoa. I also saw that there was a massive earthquake in Tibet,
Yeah.
and the people in Tibet are all, and so it's like, wow. Energetically, I'm seeing all over the Facebook,
Well, and they just
something's
got like,
happening, energy shifting.
well, and down in like Texas and all of these southern states, they just had like, they have this cold front that's coming from up here where I'm at. And like, it's funny because Joe Rogan, like 6 months ago on a podcast, he was talking about how he had interviewed somebody and how they were, talking about the fact that one day, like, LA will just get brought ablaze because the winds shift and there won't be anything they can do. Like, I had seen a thing that the Palisades ran out of water. Like, that's
Yeah,
they've known it for years and haven't done preventative measures, and that's on California. Like,
right.
you know,
Yeah, I was reading
I
that I mean, they don't even have insurance now because there's been so many fire after fire after fire
Yep.
that the insurance can't even pay out. And I was like, wow, I mean, this is super intense.
Mm-hmm.
My little sister still lives in Southern California. She's in Orange County, so she's far away from the fire, but she's probably smelling the smoke, And
Yeah.
man, I mean, that's why I left California in 2016. Actually, the end of 2017, I was living in Ventura County and there was a massive fire that I couldn't stay because it was suffocating, all that smoke,
Hmm.
So I'm imagining we're probably going to see some Californians moving over to Arizona because, you know,
Right when I can afford to move there, they're all gonna come and raise the price. That's what'll
oh, come
happen.
on, we're going to share a place anyway.
True, but still, like, we can afford it right now. Can we afford it when it's 4 grand?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to spend $4,000 to live in Scottsdale. I'll look outside of Scottsdale at that point. Like, we will not do that.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe it would be North Phoenix.
I'd be cool with like Cave Creek.
Oh, it's pretty up there.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this
Yeah.
plan. I'm floating around Facebook yesterday. I just signed up for a contest for a bunkie house, which is like a tiny house. I've always wanted to live in a tiny house. I really. And my vision was to put tiny houses in like a circle and make like an intentional community. I think that would be a really cool way to live with other people and not live with other people at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe having like a main house where we all get together and do like dinners together. It's part of my vision. I've got a huge vision for the
Ruth
future of
Ruth
humanity.
has talked about it too. So, I mean, I like people, but I hate people. Like, I need to be able to sing in my shower and not be judged, and I like not knowing my
Yes.
neighbors for that. Even though I can sing, like I kid you not, like we had live music for New Year's and people at our bar like the night before New or like the weekend before New Year's, they were like, "You and Jalen should just go and sing." And I was like, "I know, like we should, but we're not going to." I'm not part of that roster. I'm bartending. But it's one of those where it's like I enjoy not knowing my neighbors, but I also hate it because then I don't feel very safe, especially in the world that we live in today. There's been so many shootings that have been going on in my tiny little city that's not even a city. Like I
Wow.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
We were talking about that last week that there's, all the energy on the planet is making people crazy. There's talking with these domestic violence agencies here, domestic violence is like 300%.
yeah.
So I couldn't, even if I wanted to, couldn't find a shelter because they're overrun by people who are trying to escape toxic relationships.
Mhm.
And, people are realizing this is not a healthy relationship, or maybe they're getting assaulted like I was, or maybe there's some kind of incident that just triggers them to say, hey, like, I need to get out of here and
Yeah.
move in the direction of healing myself. And I love seeing that, but I hate seeing that, because
Yeah.
that means more people are traumatized. But I love seeing it because it means people are healing. People are
Yeah.
coming into their own power, their own strengths, just like I did. I transformed as a result of everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So,
Which, and that
all of that.
actually, that reminds me, I need to reach out. It's funny, 6 months ago, like back in, well, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months ago, I did an interview and I was talking about how I had been reaching out to legislators because going through domestic violence myself and fleeing my home, I should have been able to file a protection order in a different county where I had to flee to, and they wouldn't let me. And that subsequently resulted in he had broken into my house while I was gone and stole a couple grand worth of stuff and caused a bunch of damage. And the cops couldn't do anything because there wasn't a protection order in place. And so like nothing ever happened with that. He never got charged with anything, nothing. And so I reached out to legislators. Well, when I was in Arizona, I heard from a prosecutor in one of our counties that my city is part of, because we're part of two counties. And so that reminded me I need to reach out to them and figure out where we're at with all of
Yes.
that to change it so that people that are in my county that I live in right now on the lower side of our city, like we can go up into our city and file at our city offices. Otherwise, we have to drive 30 miles to our county courthouse. And that
Yeah.
should be like that. Like it should
It
not
shouldn't
be.
be like that. It shouldn't. It
Uh-uh.
shouldn't be so hard. There shouldn't be so many barriers
Yeah.
for people who have just recently been traumatized to try to get support. That
Hmm.
was what I found in Arizona. I was assaulted in Apache Junction, which is Pinal County, and
Sounds
then
like Apache
a
Junction. Holy
place.
shit.
I moved to a place in Maricopa County in Phoenix and ended up getting my order of protection in Phoenix. But when I wanted to move my stuff out from Pinal County, from Apache Junction, the AJ police and the AJ courthouse would not support me because I got my order of protection in Maricopa. I was like, what the fuck is that?
That's
Why?
illegal.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It does
that is
not make
illegal.
any sense. It really
Yeah.
doesn't. It's like, I mean, these systems are so messed up. So, yeah, I fully support you, Hailey. I support you working in the justice industry and trying to help the people that are struggling with all of this because I am one of them. And, I never thought that I would be. And here I am. Now I just lost an opportunity because I got a misdemeanor from that fucking assault. So, like,
Hmm.
what the hell is going on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. It's amazing. I actually just got a phone call. I am hopefully going to be getting the first part of this funding that I've known about for about 6.5, 7 months now. I met somebody at one of our weekly roundtables with alliances. Even though he didn't get brought back as a member, we instantly connected. We've stayed connected this whole time, and he loves what I'm doing, wants to, help fund me getting going. And finally, we have some answers on when that's going to be coming in. And we might know as soon as, the next few days. It could be as soon as
So,
next week that some funding could be coming here. And so, I think what we should, if you're cool with it, talk about today is maybe how to align your chakras, and
yeah,
what the chakras are, and just, how to become more in balance. Because the last few days I've been sick, I've been doing so much reflecting that I haven't really paid attention to how out of balance my chakras are. And after going to the ER and stuff like that, like I definitely know that I need it to be aligned for,
yeah.
everything that I know is coming towards me again. Um, if you're down for it, I would love to talk about chakra.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. From a yogic perspective, I have been studying yoga for, man, it's like I think we're at 26 years now that I've been studying the yoga
That's longer than
philosophies.
I've been alive.
And I've been really focused on the idea of the lifestyle practices. So, Ashtanga yoga it's called the Eightfold path. And essentially, the Eightfold Path includes the yamas and niyamas, which, I mean, we can get into that stuff later. It includes the asanas, physical practices, the movements, yoga practice. It includes the breathing, pranayama, and then it includes meditation and all the different steps it takes to get to meditation. What I've learned from yoga and yoga philosophies is that our chakras are actually, there are physical practices in the asanas that can be used to align our chakras, to clear our chakras. So, just for clarity, the chakra system, we have seven main chakras in our bodies. We have our root chakra, which is literally the perineum, it's the bottom of your butt. That's where your root is. You have your sacral chakra, which is in your lower belly, under the belly button. You've got your solar plexus chakra that is in your upper belly, kind of right here, which you can't see, in between the chest bone and the belly
We'll
button.
put like a,
Uh,
maybe we can put a
yeah,
little thing in the corner
that's a
of
good
the
idea.
video.
That's a fantastic idea. And then you've got your heart chakra, you've got your throat chakra, you've got your third eye chakra, and then you've got your crown chakra. These are your seven main chakras. However, you've also got sub chakras. There's a high heart chakra right about here. There are chakras on your hands and your feet, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders. You've got these little sub chakras. And essentially, the chakras are energy vortexes. The way that they were explained to me, they're like these double ended, what is the word I'm looking for? It's a geometric term. Damn it, I can't think of it right now. Well, I could draw it, but basically, like this, and there's the center where the chakra is. They're open on both sides. So the front of your chakra in your throat is open this way. The back of the chakra is open to the back. Very commonly, when you're in like a Reiki session, your Reiki practitioner will help you clear your chakras. And we were talking a little bit about that before we hit record about cleansing your chakras and what does that even
Yeah.
look like?
Well, and the way that chakras were explained to me, which might be a little bit easier for people to like visualize, my spiritual mentor, he wrote a book, and this is just a page out of his book. So shout out to Jared, wherever you may be, even though I haven't talked to you in forever. Thank you for this because this is how I always envision, it all working. But it says the word chakra literally means wheel or disc. When viewed through spiritual eyes, these energetic organs manifest themselves as colored discs of collected light spinning just off of the surface of the body. Each chakra corresponds to a specific organ or system within the physical body, and as such, each possesses attributes that not only imbue in the physical human being the necessary qualities of humanity, but as a whole, the chakras create and sustain a balance throughout the entire entity. Energy flows through the chakras through a pathway called the Kundalini, which runs along the spiritual column from the base of the spine to the base of the skull. Kundalini literally means coiled, due not only to the serpentine nature of this energy pathway, but more so because there is not one single pathway of power running through the human being, but two, the Ida and Pingala. These are often referred to as the two main arteries of the Kundalini force, which is the energy and power through which all vitality, physical and otherwise, is carried to, through, and beyond the body. The Ida and Pingala pathways appear to the spiritual eye as streams of energy coiled around the spine. The Ida pathway is a semi-transparent and light pink color, being the receptive, feminine, lunar pathway, while the Pingala is a brilliant and solid red color, being the active, masculine, and solar pathway. The Ida and Pingala meet at the bottom of the Muladhara chakra and coil around the spine, crossing pathways at each chakra, finally joining together again in the Anaja chakra in the area of the third eye, where form they again flow down into the lower chakras. Now, when you say you've got this X and then you've got your chakra, that's the
Where
Kundalini
the
coming
X
through.
meets is where the center of the chakra. Yes,
And that's why I
exactly.
wanted to read that so that I was able to visualize because I'm sure people are like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
Kundalini energy flowing through it. And when your chakras are in harmony with your whole being, they're balanced within themselves. They radiate and sustain aspects of your individual, perfectly. But if you have one single misaligned chakra in any way out of balance, it affects every other chakra. It affects your Kundalini energy.
it
Um,
affects
and
the organs around it.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's just wow. And so it's funny
Yeah.
though that you say that because I'd never seen it like that. Like I'd seen, I could see it, but I couldn't see it. And so when
Right.
you said that, I was like, holy shit, it makes sense. And I've been doing a certain meditation for literally years and forgetting about that Kundalini. I was just fidgeting it up and down and up and down and up and down. And that was just what it was. And so
Yeah.
seeing, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. The practice of pranayama, which I mentioned earlier, is a breathing practice. When the word prana means life force energy. So when you breathe, what the yogis teach is when you breathe in through the nose, you bring the energy of the prana into the olfactory nerves, and it goes into the nervous system, into the Ida and Pingala to get all the way down to the Kundalini. There are practices, you can find Kundalini yoga all over the place now, where there's practices to help you awaken your Kundalini. However, there's always been a caveat to the Kundalini energy because if you awaken your Kundalini before you're ready for it, it can cause chaos in your life.
Amen.
So,
Holy shit.
uh,
Holy
yeah.
shit. Hi, my name is Hailey. My Kundalini actually was activated my first fucking chakra opening activation because my spiritual mentor loves me, you know? And then I decided malachite would be a good idea in my life because it was
Oh
pink.
God,
So you put those two together, and I had a fucking shit show for 3 years, and I'm finally coming out of it. Pardon my French there, but it's so,
energy.
so true because you don't know how to hardly handle your chakras being open and activated and
We're not
working.
taught.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
so,
don't
you
know
know,
this
yeah,
exactly.
like, and I've realized very recently that I haven't focused on that Kundalini energy. Um, and it's funny, I actually pulled my Moldavite out. I carry my Moldavite everywhere I go. About it a year and a half ago, and I love what's all happened since I got it. That's a whole different conversation. But I realized when I was holding it, I was like, holy shit, I have a whole nother energy that's just my vitality hasn't been normal. Why? Oh, it's not getting that cleansing that it needs along with my chakras. Holy shit.
Right, right. So last month when we did our fear burning ceremony, I taught you a quantum key healing practice. And essentially, it's based on energy healing, but it's very much about the chakras. And it's really literally just using your own energy in your hands
Hmm.
and focusing your energy on clearing that chakra. So you clap your hands twice, pull the hands back, feel the energy. You literally can feel the energy between your hands. When you can start to feel it, you move your hands around, feel the energy moving around, then you can start to move the energy in your chakras and start to just give each chakra energy. Now, intentionally, you can say to the chakra, I am clearing the chakra, I'm opening the chakra, I'm allowing the chakra to cleanse, I'm allowing it to balance. I like to say I want it to spin properly because when chakras spin, if they're out of alignment, they'll actually spin in like this wonky spin. When they're
Hmm.
in alignment, they'll be perfectly circular and they'll do a proper spin. If you're in touch with your body, empath or energetically sensitive to your body, you might even feel when your chakras are out of alignment. You can
Hmm.
sense when the chakra feels. Other people can sense, like they can sense that their throat chakra is out of alignment because they can't speak. They
Hmm.
feel like they're stuttering or they're unable to express themselves in the proper way. If their heart chakra is out of alignment, then they might feel like they're making haphazard choices, maybe emotionally based choices. They're not making healthy choices because the heart chakra
Hmm.
very much navigates our heart in the way that we live in our bodies. The heart chakra and the solar plexus are actually the solar plexus is called the seat of the soul.
Hmm.
So if you want to envision where your soul lies in your body, you can envision that solar plexus chakra as the
Hmm.
place where your soul just sits. And it very
Like
much
it's
speaks
directly
through.
below your sternum. And I'm not talking like any farther down. Where that sternum ends, where it hurts almost still if you push on it too hard, that's your soul. And you can feel it. And it's so weird. Like, hi.
There's another practice that I learned for nervous system dysregulation. If your body's
Oh, I
doing
need some of that.
weird
Hi.
things, it's called a Danten. There's this movie that I watched that was called Love Heals. It was on PBS, so you can't get it on Netflix. You can't get it on like YouTube, but if you go to the PBS website, you can search for Love Heals and watch the film. It was a beautiful film. That they presented this concept of water up, heat down. And they said in the course of the movie, they said, feel your forehead. Does your head feel hot? Then feel your belly. Does your belly feel cold? If that is the case, then your body's out of alignment. And then what the practice is literally pressing your tummy. It's right where
What
the
if it's
solar plexus
all
is.
hot?
Well, you might have a fever. You personally might have a fever.
I
No,
am sick, so
but the Danten is right where the solar plexus is, and the practice is literally pressing into the solar plexus. So you're putting your fingers deep into the solar plexus. You press in. It's what I visualize is that I am touching the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs down all the way down your body on either side. You have two of them, and the idea, you start with a nervous system practice like this. You just pull down on your ear. You can talk to your nervous system just like this. Tell your vagus nerve to chill. Or you can press into your belly. Now, this kind of hurts a little bit when you first start because you're
hmm
pushing into your organs. But if you stay with it and hold it, you can start to feel your body relax. You can start
hmm
to feel the nervous system chill. Start to feel the relaxation happen. I do this on a regular basis, especially when I'm feeling like emotionally charged, if I'm feeling like maybe a little irrational, if I'm feeling like I'm not making healthy choices right now, like, wait a minute, am I is my body out of alignment? Am I
hmm
feeling nervous system dysregulation? Are my chakras malaligned? Do I need to do some cleansing? This was a practice I started when I started practicing yoga. I started doing intentional energy clearing where I would literally go through the chakras and I would take my hands, I'd start up here and I would put my
that was
hand
going
up
to
like
be a
this.
question that I'd
I'm
ask.
laying on my back, I put my hand up like this, and it's kind of like I'm asking the universe for clearing my energy. So clearing the crown chakra. Then I put my hand here, and I'll just stay like this until it feels like the chakra is cleansed. So it might take a minute, it might take 5 minutes.
hmm
You can go to the throat, same thing. And once you get to the heart space, now this is awkward, right? So you can turn your hand around, put your hand here. And what I like to do when I get to the heart is put my other hand on my third eye, because I want my mind and my heart to be aligned. This is a heart coherence practice.
Yep.
There's all kinds of things we're bringing in today. Coming down to the solar plexus, aligning the solar plexus, intentionally setting that alignment and cleansing. Go to the sacral chakra, cleansing. And what I've noticed, even just sitting here doing this, I can feel a difference in my energy
hmm
field. I feel more vibrant. I
hmm
feel more whole. I feel more grounded.
hmm
I, it's
Yeah.
really, it's a powerful practice.
And that's what I was going to say is there's some practitioners that bring up from the bottom and they tell you to start at your root. Don't fucking do it. If you don't take anything else from my fucking knowledge on anything ever again, that's fine. But do not start from the root. Especially if you have ever gone through a sexual trauma, domestic violence, if you have ever birthed a fucking baby, any sort of injury to where your chakra sits, whether you're male or female, do not start there because the problem is it's pulling up from the earth. It's
Right.
very, even though the earth is very, very grounded, it's unrefined nature in spiritual sense. It is primal. It is not it's just going to cause blockages throughout the entirety of it. You want to be
Mm,
able to push whatever's from here down back into the ground so that it goes to the ground and the ground can feed you back what it takes
yeah.
from you in positivity and can keep you grounded. Now, like that was the best thing that I had ever learned when I started working on chakras. And it takes fucking time. It has taken me 5 years to even like start seeing like, hey, maybe I'm a little bit out of alignment. And when we talk about like that emotional dysregulation, our physical bodies, our nervous systems, they start shutting down. And the thing is it doesn't have to be a rage thing. It can be rage, it can be sadness, it can be sickness,
Depression.
it can
Right,
be
right.
anxiety, anything.
Yeah.
You talked about when you're getting irritable and things like that. Yes, that's a fucking great time to do it because you're able to recognize it that way. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen like the TikTok and there's video going around. It's like this chick freaking out and then she goes, "Wow, I need to calm down." Like, and I sent it to my fucking grandma because we always had this joke when I was younger. Like, I would get real crabby if I was hangry, like, because I just wouldn't eat, you know? Like, growing up fat, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop eating. And then I would turn into a bitch and I'd feel horrible. So she got me this sign and it says, I'm sorry for the things that I said when I was hangry. So I sent it to her and I was like, aren't we glad that I'm, a lot more regulated and a lot more in tune with myself and being healthy? But that's what it says. And that's one of those pure instances where doing something like that, touching into that nerve, or I'm just gonna sit here
Pulling on the ear.
and pull and
Pull on the ear. See,
oh,
put your hand inside of the ear. You can actually massage, go around in
yeah.
circles, but you're talking to the vagus nerve. So if you visualize that you're talking to the nerve and telling the nerve to chill, tell the nerve to calm down, this one isn't as effective as touching the Dawn 10, but it
Mhm.
is effective. So if you're feeling like in the moment you're driving, you can't really use both hands. You could certainly use one hand and pull on
Yeah.
the ear. And you can also go around and pull out and pull up because
Mhm.
the ear is a direct connection
Mhm.
to the nervous system. And this
Yeah.
is, I
You
mean,
see
going
that?
into science, you have your sympathetic nervous
You see
system
that?
that, yeah,
I pulled on my ear for what, 30 seconds? Not even 30 seconds, maybe 15. And if you go back and you look, you would not have seen that part of my neck, like, because
yeah,
my body is that stressed out right now. My body is that inflamed. I am that emotionally dysregulated that
yeah,
this wasn't part of me. Like, now it is. You can even see the difference. Like, do you see how
wow.
swollen that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Interesting. Yeah.
we're showing right here live in the flesh. Like, this isn't just bullshit. And it's been
It's
practiced for
science.
years. Yeah, it's science. Like, that's the fucking craziest thing. Some people are like, you guys are fucking crazy. No, this is science. Like, this is
It's
scientifically
science.
backed.
Oh my God. I've been talking for years about how, science is finally catching up. Quantum physics is finally catching up to what the healers have been saying about our auras and our chakra systems for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. I love the fact that we can now point to science and say, yeah, this stuff is actually scientifically based. There is science showing that psychic ability is real, that ESP is real. There's so much science now that shows our nervous systems can be regulated by our own choices. There are there's scientific studies relating to energetic connection of how we connect to each other. If you
Mm-hmm.
look into the Institute of Heart Math and the work that they've done, I mentioned heart coherence earlier, but the concept is basically that we can make choices from our heart space, but you have to get connected to the heart space. So connecting the third eye to the heart actually has a reason. When you're more in alignment with your heart, you're more in alignment with your soul. You're more
Mm-hmm.
in alignment with your truth. And you're able to make real decisions based on what your soul needs, not what your ego needs.
Yeah, straight up. Oh my gosh, dude. I wish you could like feel how much heat is just radiating from right here from doing that. Like, and that's the thing. I know we aren't diving deeper into chakras right this moment, and people are probably like, they're going to talk about chakras. This all goes together. This is all
It all goes
interconnected.
together.
Like, you can't get to the chakras until you understand the physiology behind it. You can't get to the chakras until you understand that your physical being is a physical being that, responds to all of these energetic bodies in your system. Like,
Hmm.
your vagus nerve is a physical nerve that you have. Your chakras don't show on an x-ray. Those are an energetic body within your physical body. So understanding how your physical body interconnects itself within that chakra energy, within that kundalini energy, within all of these spiritual energetic bodies, that's how you're able to get into it. And I wish somebody would have sat down and done this with me way back when, because this is the first time I've ever had a conversation where I connected the two dots and now it makes more sense. You
Huh,
can see, look at that
awesome.
difference.
Yeah,
I
more
just sat
relaxed.
here. All I did was just pull on my ear while you talked. And you can see that's insane.
That's
Like,
awesome. Physical
what
evidence.
the fuck? Yeah. So now I'm gonna go do this with this ear while you continue talking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That's totally fine. I love the confirmation. I think that if we can get back to chakras, you mentioned the Kundalini energy, and I mentioned that you shouldn't waken the Kundalini energy before you're ready. Now, if you are ready, though, if you're a practitioner and you have been practicing yoga, meditation, chakra clearing, and you understand the physiology of the Kundalini, I do recommend that you awaken your Kundalini. This is not something that I want you to hold back on. It's something to be aware of, that if you awaken it too soon, it can cause chaos. However, if you
hey,
awaken it slowly, if you awaken it in a pace that your body and your soul can modulate through, essentially what will happen is as the Kundalini rises, as it hits each chakra, you'll have a new level of awakening. So your root chakra is connected to your familial systems, your home, your space, your environment. Your sacral chakra, when the sacral chakra awakens, that is your sexual energy, your ability to create. Yes?
really quick, I think it would be helpful if we kind of tell people like what it looks like in a sense as well to
What do
like
you
be
mean?
able to so like the what it manifests itself as. So like
Okay.
yeah, so like the root chakra, it's the way that I was described is it's a red wheel of light. It's connected obviously to all of your familial stuff. It's connected to Ganesha. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a four petal lotus.
Mm-hmm.
In this like this four petal lotus is white in this red energetic body. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does
And
make sense.
yeah, so like if you're cool with it, after you're done talking about what you know about chakras, I can throw in what it manifests itself as, and
Yeah.
people will be able to kind of see it
Yes.
from all the way up.
Absolutely. I can also include, so when the root chakra awakens, you will start to see much more groundedness and much more safety in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If the root chakra is out of alignment, you'll feel unsafe. You might have housing problems, you might have money problems, you might have issues with your family, trauma
Sexual
in your family.
relations.
Hmm. So then when you start to awaken in the root, you start to feel that grounding and understand that you have the power to make change there. Going up to the sacral chakra. So sacral chakra I mentioned was sexual energy, but also creative energy. So when the sacral chakra awakens, that means that you are more in alignment with your co-creative abilities with your soul. And
Mm-hmm.
so it allows you to be more whole in your choices in the way that you show up in the world. It allows you to be more intentional in your creations. So maybe when the sacral is out of alignment, you might create things that you don't want in your life. You
Mm-hmm.
might have things like rape or trauma, sexual trauma. You might have things like in the sacral section, the sacral chakra, you might experience things like endometriosis or uterine fibroids. The sacral chakra is out of alignment. If it stays that way for a period of time, that's what happened to me. I had uterine fibroids and ended up having to get a hysterectomy because of the fibroids. I was out of alignment for almost a decade and didn't know it.
I definitely
So,
have been out of alignment for a decade. I've always focused on my root chakra. I didn't know that their sacral was that connect. That's where that
it's
connection
connected
was.
to your, yes,
Yeah, I didn't know that that was in my
yeah,
sacral, and I've always like I've never been connected with my sacral. I've always been very disconnected with my sacral. I just kind of
interesting.
let it be. Like
So
it's
it could be time to do some work on your sacral chakra,
yeah,
Hailey.
it's definitely time
Yes.
to do some work on my sacral chakra.
So what
And
does the sacral chakra look like?
yeah, so it's an orange wheel of light, and it manifests itself with a six petal lotus. Um, again, that white lotus. The Hindu deity that dwells within this chakra is Vishnu, the preserver of life, and it's water element. connected to it. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it because I always pronounce it wrong for what it's next necessarily called.
The
But
Sanskrit name, yes,
yeah, the Swadhistiana or whatever,
pretty
and then
close.
yeah, and it's because I've been saying it for years now. And then your Muladhara,
Is the root
that's
chakra,
your root chakra. Moving
right?
into your solar plexus chakra, your Manipura chakra, the bright yellow wheel of light, right in that
Hmm.
abdominal region, and it's connected to your adrenal glands, your pancreas.
Hmm.
It's for your emotions. I know a lot about
Yeah.
it. Obviously, it's that seed of the soul, and it's a 10 petal lotus.
Okay. Awesome.
Red.
Okay, stop there. So the sacral chakra, when the Kundalini reaches the sacral chakra and the or the solar plexus, sorry, when the solar plexus chakra awakens, you have this is the seat of your willpower as well. But the three lower chakras are your carnal nature. This is your connection to the planet, your three-dimensional reality. The three lower chakras, that's your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. The solar plexus is connected to the heart. And so, well, they're all interconnected, right? Through the Ida and Pingala. So the solar plexus, when it awakens, you awaken your connection to your soul. You awaken your connection to your authentic self. You start to see greater abilities to navigate through life in a more whole and grounded way. And the sacral or the solar plexus chakra, when it is in alignment, it brings great abundance to your life. So this is where you start to see great things manifest in your life. Okay. So then moving up to the heart chakra. The heart is a mysterious thing.
True.
The heart chakra, when you have an awakening in the heart, this is the lower end of the spiritual connection, the top three or top four chakras. When you awaken the heart chakra, it awakens healing in the body, healing of body, mind, and soul. It awakens the ability to connect heart to heart with other people. So have real, authentic heart connections. It awakens the ability to see the path to your higher self and your higher frequencies. So that's where the heart, like when you awaken the heart chakra, that's the type of awakening you'll experience. And I also wanted to say that if you're listening and you've had an experience with the Kundalini awakening process, I would love to hear your feedback about your
Yeah,
experience
we
and what kind of
always
things
are
manifested.
looking for feedback. We
Yes.
are always open to feedback, and we can't wait to hear from people. And so your heart chakra, it's also referred to as your anahata chakra. It is a bright but also very deep green wheel of light. If you look at them combined in that middle area, because a lot of people have trouble seeing that top and that bottom at first, it's
Hmm.
you'll see the depths to the greens. But then, you have your top one, which is more of the bright green, and the bottom one, which is more of the deeper green. It is a 12 petal lotus, still a white lotus. And the deity that dwells within the chakra is Ishtadevata. I think I said that right. I think I said that right for the first time ever. Um, but Ishtarivada is understood as one's own personal deity, the god or goddess within ourselves, that is always protecting, comforting, and always guiding us through life. And so, that power is like the healing and the life giving and the nurturing and all of that in its purest form, love in its
That's
purest form.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So I mentioned the high heart. I think you were talking about the concept of like a high, the lighter green and the darker green. I think
Hmm.
that's the two heart spaces. The throat chakra. When you have a throat chakra awakening, that's when you're able to fully use your voice in its authentic place. You become a little bit more aligned with the way to navigate through life. Stand up for yourself, being able to speak your mind, speak it in an authentic way, not lie or deceive. You start to come into the world in a very real place. Maybe that's when you start dropping your masks and start to realize that your voice is worthy and you don't need to wear a mask in order to be accepted in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm.
Like it. You know, in your throat chakra, it's um Sadasvia is the deity that dwells within that throat chakra. It's also the foundation upon which Shiva and Shakti, personifications, Parvati, uh, they all stand as the first of the three higher chakras leading to the self-good and absolute ascent. It's a whole lot of Hindu mythology that goes into that. I don't know a ton into them, but those who do, they'll know what I'm talking about. It goes, you know, we had a 12 petal lotus with that heart. Now we have a 16 petal lotus right here. And honestly, the most beautiful chakra, I personally believe, out of all of the chakras, is your Naja chakra or your third eye chakra. It's an indigo wheel of light, and it. What's awesome about this one is instead of it having a white lotus, it has a indigo flame that sits
Hmm.
right here. And then it's
Hmm.
got just two lotus petals. And you know, if we look at our eyes, if you look at a lotus, look at your eyes.
They
Look at
look
how
like
they,
petals.
yeah, look how it connects.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my favorite things about,
The third eye.
yeah.
Yeah. And so when you have a Kundalini awakening of the third eye chakra, that is very much about your psychic abilities, your intuition, your ability to connect to your spirit guides, your higher self. You will notice when you have this kind of awakening that new gifts will show up. When
Mhm.
you start to clear and get into alignment with the third eye, this is when clairvoyance will start. This is when things, the clairs, will start to show up, and you might not know what to do with that. So
It's
I
scary. If
would
you need help, call us.
highly suggest, yes, reach out to a psychic, have a conversation, look for a psychic development group.
Vet your psychics. Vet
Yes,
your psychics. Do not go on TikTok and find a tarot reader that is giving you some bullshit tarot reading because that's what they do. There are very few TikTok tarot readers that I have ever followed and actually follow what they do because I fully, wholeheartedly know that they are on top of their shit. Find a psychic. Stephanie and I both have consulting services. If you want to reach out to us, please, please do. We are more than
yes,
happy to take on new clients and help you through that psychic awakening because it was fucking terrifying for us both. And I'm grateful that I had my spiritual mentor in the ways that I did, but I wish that I would have had somebody that was just a little bit more applicable in certain
and
ways.
maybe understanding the concepts and being able to hold space. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely, definitely.
definitely.
So then we're talking about the crown chakra. So the crown is our connection to spirit. The crown, I've always visualized as the thousand petaled lotus. I love that description of the crown because what it does for me as a psychic is it allows me to visualize opening up to the Akashic record. I can
Mhm.
open up. I've also given people guidance that are experiencing ascension symptoms, maybe headache or confusion, brain fog,
Mhm.
that if you open up your crown chakra, so visualize that thousand petaled opening a
The
little
thousand violet
wider.
lotus petals on the crown
Hmm?
of the thousand violet lotus petals on the crown of the head
Violet lotus
opening
petals.
up.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that's how I've
I,
always envisioned it and how I was taught to envision it was the violet side of it. And
yeah,
it's when I started taking lotus. Like I had been looking for lotus for years, since I started doing herbs. In this last year, Ruth had given me just a little mason jar full of blue lotus because she had some. I was like, no fucking way, dude. This shit's expensive. Like, and she goes, "Oh, girl, I got you." Well, then she ordered this blue lotus like oil, and like every single time we're together, we anoint all of our fingertips and those sub chakras in our hands and throw a little here, throw a little under the tongue, and holy crap, dude. Like you have the ability to connect with your crown chakra with a physical thing here on earth very
yeah.
easily.
Absolutely.
Ingest the shit and it'll do it for you, you know?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
only the beginning.
And there's actually other things like if you take psychedelics, if that is your thing, psychedelics can connect you with spiritual experiences. Absolutely. Ayahuasca, mushrooms. There's a lot of different ways to
Yeah.
open. There's even people who have said that cannabis can allow you to connect to spirit, and I
Oh yeah.
absolutely agree.
I
I
completely agree.
personally, I feel more connected when I have cannabis in my system or CBD in my system than when I
Hmm.
don't. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I I can
So I
completely agree
didn't
with
I
that.
didn't mention when the crown chakra awakens. So this is the height of the Kundalini. When the Kundalini reaches your crown chakra, this is when you start to embody Christ consciousness because you understand that you are a soul on a physical journey. So you understand so much more about reality when your upper chakras are all in alignment and all awakened. I have gone through this journey. This has been a lifelong journey and something that it took a long, long time for me to finally get to my heart chakra. And when I got to the heart chakra, I started to realize the differences in the way that life shows up for you when you're clear and when you're in alignment with yourself and your soul.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
completely agree. And that's the thing is I absolutely, 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 I cannot stress it enough. I adore chakra work. I try to practice it in all of my affairs. Every single day I try to make sure I'm aligned, but it's not perfect, you know. We all fall off the beaten path. We all fall away from our practices and it takes time. You are not going to be perfect. You're not going to be able to just do it like that. If you can, teach me your ways. Um,
Hmm.
and so
We need to teach each other.
yeah. And so, that's another thing too is I want to be able to use the art of intuition as a way to like hold all of ourselves accountable to making sure that we are on our highest best path because let's be honest, shit's fucking crazy right now.
Yeah.
And starting, now we're really diving deep into the series. We had a few episodes where we kind of just bullshitted and this, that, and the other. And now we're really going to start moving, I think, into this whole journey of the art of intuition. And I am
Yeah.
so grateful to have you here with me, Stephanie, because Lord knows I wouldn't have held myself accountable enough to do it on my own. Rambling to myself on my own about all of this would have been a little weird.
Aw,
And
I think you're amazing, Haley.
two heads are better than one.
I agree.
I yeah, I'm very, very glad. I think that one of these days we'll have to sit down and just do a guided like meditation. For people to be able to do chakra stuff, but I want to wait. I
I
don't
like
want
that idea.
we we'll wait until we have that readiness for it. It doesn't feel like it's
I'm
time yet.
thinking maybe on the next solstice would be an appropriate time to do that.
Maybe it's summer solstice next solstice, correct?
Or equinox, yeah. And then we just
I
had
was
our
gonna
winter
say
equinox.
I was gonna say the because solstice I feel like that should be some spell work.
Okay, okay. Well, how about this? Because it doesn't have to be one of our Friday episodes. We could do
This
like a secondary episode in the middle of the week whenever we want. So
this
what
is
if we
true.
did it on either like a full moon or a new moon?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it will know when we know, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure when it'll happen. I just know it's not yet.
Okay. Perfect. Well then, coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
you're new to this,
Well,
guys. Okay, calm down. Like, how do you think Joe Rogan got it? He just sat and bullshitted with people for fucking years. Like,
true that.
how are we gonna
So
get him to
here
sit
we
with his
are.
bullshit
Here
for
we are.
years?
This is week 5. This is
Week five.
exciting. We made it a whole month.
We did it. We made it through the whole first month. We're fucking getting on a groove. Look at us go, dude. I'm so proud. Like,
I'm
week
excited.
5.
Yes. Very cool. So, yes, onward and upward. I think that everything that we have just shared is a lot of information. So
Yeah.
please feel free to listen more than once. If you didn't get it first time, take notes. And if
Ask
you need more,
questions.
if you need support, reach out to one of us. Reach out to both of us if you want. We both come from different perspectives, so it could
Yeah.
benefit you actually to work with both of us. Uh, I
One
come
of
from
these days
Christ
we'll have a double
consciousness.
consult.
Oh, I love this idea. I come from Christ consciousness, very much about awakening your power and your healing abilities within your body, coming from a place of the Akashic Records and making connection to your spirit guides and your higher self.
I come from a
So
very like witchy standpoint. I come from the, between herbal uses of things. I come from a space of complex post-traumatic stress as well, a place of some very deep traumas that have happened, and how getting into my path and getting into spirituality and awakening really led me into a path of healing all of that. The trauma-informed healing, the self-realization side of things, and doing so in a practical manner where you're looking at the things that are around you and the ways that your behaviors are. And so I do it more from like a earthly element, where Stephanie does it from the other side of it, which yes, I'm knowledged in, but it's not my way of practice, and I'm not completely knowledged. I learn a lot from Stephanie. Stephanie learns a lot from me, and that's why we are the perfect co-hosts of each other for the Art of Intuition. It's why I couldn't do the Art of Intuition when I first came up with the idea for it, because I needed somebody like
you
Stephanie
needed a co-host.
that wasn't from that same perspective, so that we can always have an open conversation, so that we can always have an open discussion. Um, I don't know if you, real quick, just on this open discussion topic, I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw anything on social media, like on, especially on TikTok, but they were playing Labor, that song. And it was all of these little baby witches and stuff saying how mad all of the gods were, and all the deities were that Trump had won. And I opened up this discussion and I had so much hate come to me because of it. Like I had people like sending black magic my way because I said it. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
okay, I guess I'll just redo this word that I just did 2 days ago. Thank you. But it was like I had opened this discussion. I said, here's the deal. And maybe can we clip it in here?
I might be able to. I don't know if I can clip it in here, but I can share the link for it
Well,
if you.
I was gonna say if we can clip it in, we'll clip it in. We'll cut out me telling you what I said. But basically, I said,
Okay.
here's the deal. What if your deities that are working for you and with you are not mad about who won as president, but they're mad about the outcome because what you wanted, who you voted for, wasn't him? Because the thing is, when the election happened, when I woke up the next day, dude, it was weird. Like I had a whole energy shift and I felt very peaceful. I felt very awoken. I felt
Mm-hmm.
very like, because I knew what I was manifesting. I didn't want either of them to win. I didn't give a shit who won. I will say that flat out to either of their faces, like if it ever happens. I didn't give a shit who won. Trump's a businessman. Kamala used to be a prosecutor. I'm working to fix the criminal justice system in a business aspect as well. So, like, okay, put
Yeah.
somebody that can do the presidential duties in the office. I didn't care. I didn't even get to vote because I had to go out of town. Like,
Eh,
and so I didn't give a shit. Well, when I saw all this stuff on TikTok the next day, I was like, what if you're having problems because you manifested you like there was people talking about how they did rituals with their deities, like begging their deities to let, the person that they voted for win, and then they didn't. And then Trump won. And now like, their deities will keep candles going and they're all mad and yada yada yada. I'm like, what if it's not them that's mad? What if it's you? What if it's
what
the
if
work
it's you?
that you did? What if they're upset because you put in all of this work and the outcome didn't happen because it's out of their control? What if a real earthly problem that we're facing wasn't able to be solved by your spell work, and they're mad about that because
Mm-hmm.
they don't know how to handle that? Whoa. And like open discussions like that, that's the kind of stuff I love to talk about. We might get a
Yeah.
little controversial. You can always just cut
I
it out.
love it.
Just tell me first. Because I said some
No,
controversial
I
stuff on
think
the
it's great.
podcast once. It was amazing and it got cut the fuck out.
No, we're not going to cut that out. Honestly,
Cool.
if I can link it in, I will. If I can link it in the description, I will. Because I think that, I mean, this is real life. This is real life.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about the stuff that some people would call woo woo, but this is real life. As a healer and an intuitive, and a Reiki master and psychic. Like all of this is my real life.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I navigate in the world. I want
I
to
wonder
come from an authentic place.
I wonder if I can just pull it up on TikTok on my computer.
Oh, maybe.
I didn't think about that until just now. Let's see. Continue with Apple. Two objects that are the same shape. K and a K. Thanks, TikTok. Whoa, what was that? Oh, it's my phone. I'm like, what the, or my screen. Okay. Jeez Louise, what is going on here? Yeah, go back. Okay, I'm lost. Here we go.
Watching Hailey navigate through TikTok.
Yeah, I can't even see myself like navigating through TikTok. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, I can play it. This is gonna be great.
Okay,
I
I
can't wait.
just gave you co-host ability so you could share your screen.
Cool. Um, where is? Oh, hold on. Let me close that. Pull that up. Whoa, advance. Come back.
What are you
Let's.
doing?
Can you see me? Because I
I can
can't.
see
I'm
you.
trying to get it to go. Bear with me. Here. There we go. Okay.
I still
So
can't
this
see it.
is
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm fully aware that witch talk is going to come for me with this, and do as you please. I know I'm protected, but here's my thing: I'm seeing everywhere about how Apollo, Aphrodite, and Hermes, and Loki, and Thor, and the Egyptian gods—they're all pissed about this election. Here's my question to you: who did you vote for? Are they pissed about who won the election, or are they pissed about who you voted for? Now, I'm not saying who should have won. I'm not trying to make this into political debate about what witches are for and what witches are. My opinion doesn't matter in this matter, because for me, ever since election night, I have fully come back into myself after not having part of me for over a year. I have had more power. I have channeled more. I have had more intuitive insight. I have been more on my shit in the last 3 fucking days and more in tune than I have in the last year. And I didn't vote. Granted, I could have, but I had to be out of town. And I didn't do an absentee ballot because I didn't know I was going to have to be out of town. That's besides the point. What I am saying is, before everybody runs to say that they're pissed off about this, that, and the other, maybe they should do some inner work and look and see, are they pissed off at the election results, or are they pissed off at who everybody else voted? And like I said, it's just a perspective. It is just opening the conversation, and you're going to come for me if you want to, but what good are you doing that? There is no good in that.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. I just want to add to this that when I say do the inner work and pissed off about who everybody voted for, you have to remember that in your practice, your deities, the work that you're doing, the things you're petitioning to them, are the outcomes they're going to want. So if you're petitioning to them that you want somebody else to win the presidential election that didn't win, they're gonna be upset. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's not that Trump, it's that they're mad that the outcome that you put your intentions towards didn't.
Hmm.
Just saying. Okay, so I'm fully aware that, like,
I mean, I
I
was
love it.
pissed And I don't know why I was so mad. Like that was definitely a lot of that was a channel because I don't remember half of that video. I haven't watched it back since I posted it. Like a lot of that was a channel from somebody that was angry about whatever the fuck. Like,
Right, right. Well, so from my perspective, I operate on everything happens the way it's supposed to. So coming from that perspective, when uh the blonde man won,
when the
I
blonde
had
when the
I
cheetah
had an
finally
emotional
won.
response. I had an emotional response because he is not who I voted for. However, I also had an insight. I watched a YouTube video who gave us a very interesting insight of that what if Kamala had won, what if that would have put us into chaos and World War III?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
What
Like,
if we were staving off the possibility of World War III by electing the somebody who isn't going to create that, somebody who's going to create
he's a
possibility
businessman.
instead
He
of,
doesn't give a shit
you
about
know?
politics. He's a businessman. And now he feels wronged about, this, that, and the other because of the criminal justice system. So now he's going to have even more of an incentive for like people like myself that have been trying to rebuild our criminal justice system for years. You
Right,
know?
right. Well, I mean, we need to get out of the political conversation because
Yeah.
Project 2025 is scaring the shit out of me.
I fucking
So,
have it. I won't even read it, dude. I won't even read it. I got
oh
into
my
a fight
God,
with my
I
grandma.
could not help
Like,
myself. I had
yeah.
to because I have to know what's coming. Now it doesn't
If it
mean that
starts
this
manifesting
is
itself,
what's coming.
like,
What?
it said if it really starts to like come through, did you read all of it? Like every little bit of it?
I read it all. I read it all because I wanted to know what was in there. I
Well,
wanted to know what's in there because it affects me personally as a bisexual woman in the LGBT community.
fair.
So it's important. I'm connected with transgendered people that are scared out of their minds because of what it said. So from that perspective, there are some things in Project 2025 that I was like, fuck yeah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we need this, and yes, we need to do this. But the other things were so limited in their scope and so very much in a perspective of like reductionist
Misogynistic.
misogynistic, reductionist mindsets of we're going to eliminate the benefits for LGBT community. We're going to eliminate opportunities for gay people to get married. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, why would you want to change the course of history for
Mm-hmm.
what exactly? For your belief system?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've turned this political.
We can cut out, whatever parts, or we can leave it all. I don't give a shit. I mean, at the end of the day, because I have a very different viewpoint on like Project 2025 because I did the research into who started it and who was part of it and like who did it. And I looked at it and I was like, these are all just a bunch of big fucking bullies. Like it's not actually a policy that's been ran through Congress. I know how all of that works. And so I
Hmm.
know that there's points in there where like they have some really fucking bad things, but like at the same time Congress isn't going to allow that to happen.
I hope not.
Because if you look at the people who wrote those parts, like it shows who did that specific page or whatever with all these fucked
Oh,
up things. Look at who the people they're connected with. Look at their inner circle. If their inner circle
right.
doesn't have any power in Congress, they have no power. They don't. That's how
Okay.
the world works. And so, like, the president can't, there's only so much Trump can do above Congress. So, really, like, that's where we need to look at is who's in Congress, who's in our Supreme Court. Like, that's where you need to look. And they're keeping a lot of people that, like, we have John Thune and Mike Rounds. And, like, I don't know if Dusty Johnson got reelected. He probably did. Uh, I don't know if they do that election for another 2 years. I don't know. I haven't gone and voted. I have not voted as an adult. Like, but like what I know is that from South Dakota, we've got people that'll fight for us. I've got people that'll fight for us. And I will go to the fucking ends of the earth for people of the LGBTQ community. Because I know people in the LGBT community. I have family that's in the LGBT community. Like, I myself have grown up my whole life with people in the LGBT community. I might not be part of the LGBT community, but I'm part of the kink community that's very included in the LGBT community. I'm part
Mhm.
of anybody should be able to just love people. It doesn't
I
mean that
agree.
you have more of a right to this than I do because you're you are into the same sex or you're not, or you decided that you wanted to be a man or a woman and you were born in a different body. We are
Right.
all equal in those aspects. I think that, people wanting to be a dog, like that's taking it a little far. Um, Please don't cut this out because I don't care. Come for me all you want. Like, for fuck's sake, schools are having to fight to put litter boxes in their schools, like in middle schools. I literally had a friend look at me the other day down in Tech, like not in Texas, in fuck some southern state. I can't remember what state he's in now. But we were on FaceTime and he goes, "Dude, my kid came home today and said that they put a litter box in the fucking school bathroom for this kid. Like, because this kid is swearing to God that he's a cat." And I was like,
Uh,
let's do away with the Department of Education, please. Trump now. Fucking done. I will homeschool kids from here on out. Like, no, because what the fuck, Like, and I know this is political, and you probably all have stopped listening at this point, but this is a conversation that it plays into spirituality because a lot of these people will be on TikTok and they will find TikTok practitioners, and there are very few TikTok practitioners that know what the fuck they're doing.
mhm,
There are very good resources out there on
yeah.
TikTok if you can vet them. And it's
Right. Look at their credentials. Go to their website.
yeah,
Find that they have
look
a
at how
website.
long they've been a TikTok person. Look at how long they've been doing it.
Right.
You might have to
Yeah.
scroll for a minute, but like I can promise you there's some very, very, very beautiful practitioners on TikTok. Um, but it'll take you a while to weed them out. So don't believe everything you find on the internet unless it comes from Stephanie and I, and even then question it still.
It's
Discernment of the truth comes from within. Unless it's something tangible, physical that you can see. Like if I were to slap Stephanie on camera right now, whop, that's a tangible fact that I slapped Stephanie on camera. You can discern that. But when it comes to spiritual truths, when it comes to spell work, when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to any sort of work that you're doing, unless it's scientifically backed, follow your own intuition. And that's the art of intuition.
yeah. I think that's a beautiful place to end our conversation.
And that's why we had to talk about politics. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Hailey.
Thanks, Stephanie. Bye, guys.
Yeah, the new moon
Yeah.
and how the full moon's gonna look with it not being with Pluto being out of Capricorn, and Capricorn having its first new moon, really how that all happened. And I feel like that new moon happened and it was just that's where the energy shift started and the full last push of it came on New Year's. And some people they say I don't celebrate New Year's on this time. I wait till spring solstice. Okay, do it. Do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. Like in my practices, the new year still brings in a different energy. And in my beliefs, the new year still brings in a different energy. And I'm talking in an aspect of home and family. I'm talking in an aspect of finances. I'm talking in an aspect of just the way that you get to look at the world.
Hmm.
You know,
Definitely.
magically, yeah, I still follow that. I wait until we have summer solstice to really look at that new year and everything that follows coming out of winter, going into spring, all of that. But in a sense of just real life reality, because I can't be in the magic life all the time, even though I practice day in, day out. I can't only focus everything in my physical life around it. Otherwise, nothing's going to align for me. And that's something
Mhm.
that I realized very early on in my practice. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it all looks like over the next 6 months, over the next 12 months.
For sure. For sure. You know, I really love I really love using the energies of the planets, the energies of the moon. I've been I would say for the last 2 years, I have done a fear burning ceremony every single moon, every full moon. And every single time I see a shift in my life, every single time. So we have a fear burning ceremony coming up. That'll be on the full moon
Mm-hmm.
on this month is called the Wolf Moon, and that's going to be on January 13th, which is a Monday. It varies every month, so you just have to know when the full moon is. And if you'd like to get on our mailing list so that you get invited to this is a free event that we host on Zoom. And Hailey and I hope Hailey will be there this month. I'm hosting every month.
Yes. Every month
Uh,
this year, I'm going to make it a commitment.
yes, awesome. So, this month is on Monday, Monday the 13th, and it starts, I made it for 6 o'clock Mountain Time, so it'll be a little earlier for you, Hailey, because I felt that
Yep.
hosting it at 7 o'clock makes it 8 o'clock your time, which is starting to get kind of late to host anywhere in the East Coast. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Anyway,
yeah.
so let us know either in the comments or send me an email. Let me know you're interested. I will add you to the list and you will get the Zoom invite. It is a free event. So we'd love to have you. That if you have shit you want to burn, not like physical things you want to burn, but emotional things you want to burn, things that you feel are
Well,
blocking you, things that you feel are holding you back, limiting beliefs, anything like that, fear. That's the whole point of this ceremony. During the ceremony, I will give you a Reiki energy to kind of guide you energetically. And then I also teach a certain technique that can help clear your chakras. So this is something that is multifaceted experience. So you get a lot out of it. Uh, anyway, I wanted to make sure that I got that in there. By the way, I would love to hear, Hailey, how can people work with you?
so reach out to me via social media, send me an email, Hailey, HAILEY.mftm@gmail.com. And we can get you scheduled for a reading. If you have different services that you'd like, I'm working on getting a website set up so that it's just direct, like you have a landing page to go to the different booking things. I do have some spiritual mentees, as I call them. They call me their spiritual advisor. I've got different people that I just do basic tarot readings for. If you want to work with me on criminal justice aspects of things, send me an email. Always open to collaborating with that. Um, and yeah, we'll have something up here eventually. Give me a few weeks. It's been a busy, busy, busy last year. So
Yeah, awesome,
with
awesome.
that though, I think that is our time for this week, mainly because my computer's at 1% and it's not charging.
Well then, thank you, Hailey. Thank you so much for making it
Yes,
happen
thank
tonight.
you, Stephanie. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And
Happy New Year,
we will
everybody,
see you
and
next week.
we'll see you next week.
Bye.